Okay, guys, the recording is started. Okay, we were discussing about associations. Okay, today we will complete many to one association and many to many association, right? And so association, they always talk about the relationship between two classes. How we can make a relationship between two classes? See, if I take the real-time example, like everyone, everyone has joined the college. Everyone has visited the college, right? Like, if you take some set of students, let us say some group of students, some students or many students can opt for one department. Let us say the department name is CSE. Okay? So this concept will is falling under the many to one association category. Many students, one department, right? And many banks, or many branches under one bank, right? Many states under one country. If you make such kind of relationship, you can go for what? You can choose many to one association. For example, let us say that we have Balaji, we have Sudhir, we have Dinesh, right? So if these students want to opt for Java course, right? You need to take care of these properties in one class, and you need to take care of this property in another class. So what does it clearly says that many students are opting for one particular course or one specific course. So this kind of relationship is called as what? The many to one relationship. I will explain this in the diagrammatical format. So if I want to represent this in the form of diagram, so this is how the as a relationship is going to be. Okay, so I am taking the two entities. Okay, this is one entity and this is another entity, and I want to do what? I want to make a relationship. We make an as a relationship. Okay, I want to connect these two entities. Okay, the first entity is something like students entity. Students. Okay, the second entity is what? The department entity. I'm taking the department as an entity, right? And these two are going to have a relationship. There is a relationship between these two entities or these two classes, which is called as what? The as a relationship. Right? What kind of relationship they both are maintaining? As a relationship, right? So many students, okay, not one student, at least more than one student. Okay, many students, when they have opted for what? When they have opted for one particular department, okay, that relationship is called as what? Many to one relationship or many to one association. Many to one association. Okay, so let us say that I am going to take a class, like my class name is going to be what? Student class student. Okay, in my student class, particularly I would be having what? I would be storing the name of the student. Okay, the information that I am going to consider, the information that is very important for me is to save the student name. Second one is I need to save the student ID also, right? I also I'm preferring to save, or I'm preferring to store the student location also. Okay, I'm considering these three information is very important to me with respect to student. Okay, I am opting to store the student name or student ID and student location, right? Along with this, okay, so let us keep it simple. So this is my student class. This is my student class. And again, over here, I'm going to take the department class. Okay, so the name of the class is going to be what? Department. Okay, what are the things that I'm going to consider in the department class? Okay, so every department is going to have the department ID and department name. So I'm going to store two information. One is what? One is in the form of string D name, department name. The second one is what? String DID, which is representing what? The department ID. Okay. And if you see, I have two classes. This is one class, and this is another class. I have two classes, right? Now what I want to do, I said many students are going to opt for one particular department. So I want to find a way to create the department object here. I want to find a way to give access to the get access to the department object from the student class. Okay, so what I can do, I can use the class name, which is department. I can keep the variable name. I can, write my own variable name as DEP, right? And if you look into this variable, okay, the variable name is DEP and the data type is department type. Okay, so this is pointing towards it. This is pointing to this class. Internally, it is storing the object of the department class, right? So by this, I can say that. So this is one object. This is what? This is one object. One object. Okay, and I'm supposed to create what? I am supposed to create many student objects. I will be creating many student objects, right? Student can be in any numbers. Okay, we cannot say, we cannot keep some restrictions. There can be any number of students, right? So many student objects will be created. Many student objects will be created, right? So along with the student object, all the student object is going to have the common object called as what? The department object. The department object is going to be the common object in each and every student object. So common object, department object. Department object is going to be the common object for the student object, right? So this relationship is called as what? Many to one relationship. So I've said you already in my previous classes, right? So a particular class which is having an information about another class is called as what? The container class. Okay, the particular class which is exposing its information to the another class is called as what? The contained class. Right? If we just look at this, right? If I create, for example, let us say that I'm going to create, three student objects. So this is student object 1, this is student object 2, this is student object 3. Let us say that I'm going to store the data of Dinesh and Balaji and Sudhir. Okay, so this is Dinesh object, this is Balaji, this is Sudhir object, right? So every student object is going to have the common objects, like which is what? The department object, department object, department object, and there will be a department object here. Okay, this object is particularly for the department. Okay, so each and every student is going to have the department as the common object. Okay, so you have many student objects which is having one common object, which is what? Which is the department object. That's why the relationship is called as what? Many to one relationship. So theoretically, see, when you're learning the Java for the first time, these things will look a little confusing, right? So you have to think like, you should be you should not think like a beginner. You should put some efforts to understand this. How you can put some efforts? Just try to understand, try to trace the program that I'm going to write now. Then you will get the complete picture. Okay, so I'm using the editor to construct the program. So I'm going to create my new package. Okay, so let me remove this. This is the quiz editor. We have discussed these things in my previous sessions. File new. I'm going to create what? I'm going to create Java project. Okay, I'm going to name this project as April 1 because so we can track this, right? So on April 1, I am explaining these things to you, right? So I'm taking this project as April 1. So next, okay, and you just click on finished. Okay, April 1 project is created. Right? If you see, I have two classes. I am going to deal with two classes. Always remember, it is a very good practice to create a package for each and every class. Okay, for student class, you create one package. For student class, you create one package, and for department class, okay, you create one package. Right? And for the main class, you create one package. So main class is the class where you're going to actually, you're going to actually run the remaining class. You're going to use the other classes. So I'm going to create three packages. One package is for one package will be created, and I will be placing the student class. Second package will be created, and we will be placing the department class. Third package created, and we will be placing the main class. Someone has just joined now. Okay. Okay, let us do the same thing. So you are going to see a folder called src. Don't worry about these folders for now. So this is going to use to, you can use this folder to place your packages. So I'm just right clicking here. I'm just selecting the new and the package. I'm naming this package as com.test.write student. Finish. Okay, I want to create two more packages. File, source, new package. This time I'm naming this package as com.test.write department. I'm giving the meaningful name. You can give any names, no issues, but I'm preferring to give a meaningful name so that it will be good when you just going to trace these things. Then I'm taking another package as com.test.main. Package name is main itself. Three packages. So I already told you many times. Okay, so whenever you are developing any class, especially when you're using this as a relationship, when you're creating a relationship between two classes by using these concepts, always ensure that firstly you're constructing the class for the the contained class. First you construct the class for the develop the class for the contained class. Okay, my contained class is what? Department class, because this class is being exposed in another class. That's why it's called as what? Contained class. First you need to construct this, because this student class has a dependency, right? So student class is dependent upon the department class. So you need to first build the dependent class, then you will build the actual class, right? So let me do that. uh, Department package, under department package I'm creating the class by the name of what? By the name of department. Right, done. Okay, so what are the fields that we are going to consider? Department name and department ID, right? So I have said you many number of times, for if you are setting up the variables, first thing is what? Department name. The second one is what? String department ID, because both are going to store the sequence of characters. So department ID can be integer, not ID, integer. ID is the number, that's why I'm taken integer. Okay, the department name is going to be sequence of characters, so I have taken string as a data type. So it should be to place the access modifier as the private encapsulation concept. Okay, then what you have to do? We have to generate what? We have to generate no argument constructor. Okay, and all are constructor. Okay, and you need to do what? You need to generate getters and setters. So these things can be generated very easily when you're using this Eclipse editor. Right click here, okay, and click on choose the source, generate a constructor using fields. First deselect all, generate. So no or constructor is created. This is no argument constructor. Super keyword is an optional thing. Even though if you put or if you do not put, it will be is there. Okay, compiler will take the super keyword. Next, generate no all our constructor. Source generate constructors using fields. Select all, generate. Okay, all argument constructor has been generated. Okay. Next thing is generate getters and setters. Okay, source generate getters and setters. Select all. Okay, automatically setters and getters are generated. At last, override the toString method. This is an optional. Okay, for now I'm overriding it. Source, okay, generate toString. Select all, generate. Done. So we have successfully able to generate the department class. Right? So department class has been generated successfully. Okay, now this is done. This part is done. Right? So this part is completed. Right, now we need to design the student class. So we are going to design the student class. So student class should be placed under the student package, right? So there is a student package here. So under this, right clicking here, clicking on new package. Okay, not package, guys. So right click, new, click on class. Okay. So what are the variables that that I want to place here? You see, I want to take name, ID, and location and department, right? So string s name, integer SID. Third one what? Location, string location. So data location is the sequence of characters, right? And department DEP. Okay, department is not recognizable because it is in a different package. You need to import it. So now it is the private. Everything has to be private. Okay, this is also private. This is also private, and this one is also private. Done. If we have four variables, okay, four variables. Same thing. Generate no arg constructors file. Source. Generate constructor using fields. Deselect all. So no argument constructor is generated. This is an optional. Likewise, generate all argument constructor file source. Generate constructor using fields. Select all. Okay, all our constructor has been generated. Okay, and the next one is generate getters and setters. File source. Generate getters and setters. Select all. Generate. Okay, at the last, generate toString method. Right. So these things are becoming very easy when you use an editor, Eclipse editor. The real-time project also will be using this editor only, Eclipse editor. Or else sometimes there is another editor called Spring Tool Suite. That is also a good option. Every industry is using that. Yeah. So these two things are completed. We are able to construct these two things. Okay. So we need to apply this, right? We need to add the data and we need to work on this data. So how we are going to do that? Okay. Now I need to create my main pack. The main class. So there is a main package. So under this, I'm right clicking it, new. I'm taking class. So I'm naming this as class what? The main or the driver. I'm taking the class as the driver class. Okay, I'm checking this public static void main. If I just check this and finish, so the main method is generated automatically. Okay. So many to one, right? So what we are discussing about many to one. Second thing is what we needed to consider firstly. Okay, many is what? Many is students, many students, and one department. Okay, and what else we need to consider? Student is the container class. Okay, and the student is what? Student is the contained class. We need to create object for the contained class, which is department class. So firstly, I will be creating an object for department class. So dependent class, right? That's why I'm creating an object for department class. So it is breaking because we need to import this. Just place the cursor here, click on import. Okay. New department, right? So I'm using this variable d1 dot set department name. So I'm going to take the department name CSC department. Okay, and d1 dot set department id. Let us say the department id is something like 101, right? So we have successfully created the department object. So this is going to do something behind the scenes. So in the real-time project, you won't be drawing all these things. Okay, these are the changes that you are just visualizing it here. These are the memory level changes. This for your understanding, I'm doing all this. Doesn't mean that you're going to do all this stuff in the real-time project, right? So you are writing a code. We are just visualizing how the code is working. Just visualizing these are the things that are happening in the memory. So I'm giving this for the visualization. It doesn't mean that you need to do all these things in the real-time project. So department object is created now. So behind the scenes, not behind the scenes, in the memory, in the system memory, okay, and a memory gets allocated, object will be created, right? And this is going to, I can name this object as d1. Why d1? Because that is a reference variable I'm using here, d1. So d1 here. Okay. and this is going to carry two fields. Okay, one field is what? The name field, which is yes. Okay, the second field is what? ID field. Okay, which is what? 10. So, you create an object and it is storing like this in the memory. Right? Now next thing is, now we focus here. So I said many students are going to choose one department, right? So now we will have to create many student objects. Okay, many student object needs to be created now. So I am going to create. Okay, so now the container class object student s1 equal to new student. So s1 dot set id student id. Okay, student id I'm taking it as 1. s1 dot set student name. The student name I'm taking it as let me take Balaji. S1 dot, what else we have, guys? Student location. Student location. Let me say Balaji is from Chennai. Okay. So these are the simple values. I am able to store the simple values. Why this is breaking? Location Chennai. These are the simple values. This ID, name, and the location. And at last, I need to choose the department. Set department. So I am passing the reference variable of the department here. Okay, now this D1 is holding what? This D1 is internally holding two information. One is the department, department name information, and the department, the ID information. So these two piece of information is just strinked and getting stored in the form of D1. So D1 contains the name as well as ID. Right? The data is getting shrinked and it is getting stored in the form of D1. A complex object. If you see, these are the direct values, isn't it? Are the direct values. One is a direct value, and this is also a direct value. Balaji, you're directly assigning it. You're directly assigning the Chennai city here. But here also you're assigning it directly. But this is not a value. This is again the reference variable name, which has values like name and ID in the D1 object. Right? So one student object is created. Let me quickly create another two student object. Student as2 equal to new student. Okay. S2 dot, let me quickly copy this and paste. Okay, I'm going to take the student ID as s2 dot set id. s2 dot set id is equal to s2 dot set name. Okay, I'm taking the name as Lakshmi. Okay, s2 dot set location equal to, I'm taking the location as Hyderabad. Okay, and s2 dot get department, same department, D1. No changes there. Okay, one more student I'm taking. Okay, s3 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 3 and s3, reference variable s3. So id is 3. Okay, let me choose the name as Dinesh, and location as let me choose Pune. ID is D1 itself. I mean department is D1 itself. So I have how many student objects? I have 3 student objects. Okay, because of these things that I have just added in the in the memory. Okay, I mean that I have added in the main method, right? So what are the changes that you can witness here? Okay, let me move this little bit here. Okay, I will witness 3 student objects are created. This is student 1 object. Okay, like this, 2 more student objects will be created. Student 2 object. Okay, and you have what? You have student 3 object. Let's join in now. Okay, so this is what? This is S1. S1, S2, and you have S3. Good, right? The first student object is what? It is having the ID as 1, okay, and it is having the name as Balaji. It is having the location as Chennai. At last, it is having the department as the D1. Focus. Department as the department variable it has. Same thing I am copying here. Okay. Second student name is, this is the student ID 2, and this is no, Lakshmi. Okay, location is what? Hyderabad. But in the same department. And the third student, okay, ID 3, name Dinesh. Location is Pune, department is same. Okay, if you observe this, I have students as well as I have department. Okay, these two objects are maintaining a relationship. So that is what we are discussing. That is a relationship between these two objects. Okay, so if you see D1, if it is referring to D1, it is also referring to D1, it is also referring to D1. All the students are referring to one department. Okay, one common department, D1. Okay, and if I ask you a question like what kind of relationship is there between these two classes, you would say as a relationship, right? And what kind of association is this? If I ask you, you should be in a position to say, sir, this is what? This is many to one association. So many students are in the left hand side, right? And who are affiliated under one department, who are what? Who have chosen the same department. One department. So one department object is here and three student objects are the left and one department object is in the right. That's why relationship many to one. If you see the common thing, okay, department D1 is common here, right? Here D1 is common. Here also D1 is common. Here also D1 is common. Right? D1 is common. Many students are choosing one department. That's why it's called as many to one. So this code is making this kind of changes behind the scenes. Okay, but we need to we need to work on this code better. Okay, we need to see how we can print these details. I want to print all these details. How we can do that? That is the question. I want to print all the information. I want to get the details of all this information. What I am doing, I'm going to the student class, right? I'm just going to the student class. I am writing another method like public void get details. So I'm developing my own method as get details method. So what I'm trying to have here is system.out.println, right? To just goes and see the variable names. S name I have. Okay, S name. I'm pasting the S name, right? Likewise, I'm pasting the SID. Likewise, let me do. Okay, I also want to paste what? I also want to place the location. Okay, and if I want to paste DEP department, I cannot just paste the department like this. Okay, so this department DEP is a variable. If I just by using this variable, I have access to get the value of department ID. So I'm using what? I'm using the getter. I have access to get the value of department ID, right? And by using the same variable, I have access to get the value of a department name. Complex object, isn't it? So this is the simple object. This is a simple object, means you can get the values directly, but this DAPT is a complex object. Now what I want to do here is, so these are the things that I'm expecting to be printed in the console, right? I want to call this method on top of a particular object. So this method is get details method, isn't it? Name of the method is get details method. Okay, and where is my main class? This is the main class. If I call the get details method by using S1 object, so I'm using S1 object. On S1 object, I want to call get details method. Okay, I'm just calling the get details method on S1 object. See, this is the S1 object. This is S1 object. Okay, so this is S1 object. I'm calling what? I'm calling the get details method. Get details method on top of S1 object. If you just go and see what is there inside the get details method, what is the logic that is there inside get details method, right? So this is the, I mean, not this one, guys. So this is the logic. Okay, first thing is S name, SID. So this is the logic. Simple. This, let me copy this logic only. Let me copy this logic and let me put it here. This is the logic. We call it get details method on top of S1 object, S1 reference variable. I'm getting the get details method by using S1 reference variable, right? What happens? See, the first it is expecting to print S name. What is the S name here? Student name Balaji. So Balaji will be printed on the first line. What is the second one? SID. Inside S1, what is SID? When student ID 1 will be printed. Next, what is the location? Location is what? Chennai. Next, what is the DEPT.getName? Now you see, by using DEPT, because this is the DEPT value, D1 is DEPT value. By using this value, I am getting access to what? Get ID. So 101 will be printed. Okay, and again DEPT.getName. So this is DEPT, D1 dot getName. What is the name? CSC will be printed. Right, if I just execute this code, let me execute this and see whether it is working or not. Okay. Balaji 1, Chennai 101 CS. If I do the same thing, if I use S2, right, all the details in the S2 will be printed accordingly. If I choose S3, all the details will be printed accordingly. Let me choose S2. Now see the results in the console. Lakshmi to Hyderabad. I'm able to fetch the details, right? So I have taken a common method. I'm able to fetch it. If I choose S3, these are things. Able to follow? Everyone? Are we good? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now next interesting topic is many to many relationship. Okay. If you understand one relationship, understanding the remaining relationships are just like a kind of cakewalk thing. Okay. It is not so much. It's not so much complicated, guys. We actually make the things complicated. These things are really very easy. If you understand one association, remaining associations are very easy. Now many to many, the last association. I'm going to change a small things here. Is a relationship between two class or entities where many instances of an entity should be mapped to many instances of another entity. This is very interesting. Many instances of another entity. Example. When I was doing my college, okay, I visited Amirpet in Hyderabad. Okay, it's one of the famous areas, and you find a lot of computer courses. Even though there is no market in India, okay, if you want to do something in USA, if you want to learn such courses where the job opportunities are available only in the USA, okay, those kind of courses are found in Amirpet. You search each and every Yukon corner, okay, you get all kind of information. If you just visit there for continuous for 7 days by collecting the pamphlets that you get outside in the streets, you get to know about what is the computer industry. At least if you just roam here and then in Amirpet, you will get to know what is the actual computer industry. So my interest is to visit each and every institute, and I will not join any institute. I will just collect the information. I will collect the pamphlets and I will see what kind of courses are there, what kind of jobs are there. Right. So my friend is there, my roommate. Okay, he is what? He is the CS student. He's a computer science student, right? He visited. Okay, he's a student, and he visited the institute, right? And he preferred to take Java class as well as what? As well as the Python class parallelly. Right? Another student, okay, another one of my friend, he preferred to choose C++ and Oracle. Another student, he went there, okay, and he has preferred to choose Java, Oracle, C++. Another student, he preferred to choose something like, no, let me say it like PHP, MongoDB, JavaScript. Okay, and if you look at the left hand side, there are many students here. Many students are here. And if you look at the right hand side, there are many courses. So many students are have the freedom to choose many courses. Right? I can also say that. Okay, let me put in the another way. Okay, not this way. Let me put in the another way. I can say, let me say Sudhir. Okay. Sudhir. Yes, there are. Let us say that there are 3 courses here. Okay, course number 1, course number 2, course number 3. For the time being, I'm taking these 3 courses. Okay, there is a Java course, there is the Python course, and there is also what? There is also the C++. So there are 3 courses being offered in the Amirpet area for the imagination. It is like Sudhir is allowed to choose many number of courses. He is choosing Java and Python. Sudhir has chosen Java and Python. Second way, I can also say one, for example, one more student I'm taking. So here I'm taking the student as Balaji. Okay. One course can be opted by many number of students. One course can be opted by many number of students. This way. So Java is opted by Sudhir and Balaji. One course is being chosen by many number of students, or one student can choose any number of courses. So I can say that Balaji can choose either Java, Python, or if he is interested in Java and C++, he can choose this. He has such freedom. Balaji can choose any number of courses, or one course can be opted by any number of students. Okay, let me say some other. Let me add some other student. Okay, here let me add the student like Monica. Monica can choose Python. Okay. Monica can also choose Java, C++. From the Java's perspective, okay, let us understand this from the Java perspective. Java is being opted by many students. In this example, Sudhir and Balaji. Right? And C++ is being opted by many number of students, Balaji and Monica. Python is being preferred by Sudhir and Monica. Okay. One course can be opted by many number of students. This way, it is we are validating it from the right hand side. If you see the left hand side, let us say that one student can choose many number of courses. Or else I can also say that many students can opt for one course. Many number of students can opt for one course, or one course can be chosen by many number of students. Here, in both ways, okay, this is many as well as this is also many. Are you able to understand my analogy, everyone? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? In either ways, there is many to many relationship here. Right? So let me design the what? Let me actually design the high level diagram. You will understand this. I'll save this. Okay. 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 What kind of relationship that I'm talking now? I'm talking about what? Let me take the student entity here. Let me take the the course entity here. Okay. Here you have what? Here you have the students. Here you have the courses. Okay. And I want to maintain the relationship between these two. I want to keep a relationship between students and the course. The student and this is course. What kind of relationship I want to maintain as a relationship? Okay, as a relationship. So it is talking about what? One student can take many number of courses, or many number of students can opt for one course. Many number of students can opt for one course, or one course can be opted by many number of students. So many. So this is many. This is many. So this is called as what? Many to many relationship. Let me develop the code for the better clarity. Okay, let me take the simple student class. The name of the class is student class. Okay, I'm going to take only two variables. One is what? String this name. Okay, let me choose string location. This is one of the variable. These are two variables. Student name, the location. And over here, I'm choosing what? I'm choosing the course class. Okay, my course class is going to have the course name information, right? Okay. Key name. Okay. Integer course fee. Okay, at last string duration. 3 kills I'm taking, right? And I want to make many to many, right? So I'm taking the course array here, because one student can choose any number of courses. I'm preferring the course array here, not one course, many courses. Right? If I just say, right, so this is the container class. Whenever a class is having the another class information, that class is going to be the container class. Or whenever a class has the dependency on another class, it is container class. Okay? And this is contained class, because this class is getting exposed in another class, so this is contained class. So what kind of relationship this making? One to many relationship. Always create object for the contained class first, then the container class. Right. So let me open the Eclipse editor really quick. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here? Okay. File. Let me remove this file. New Java project. April 1. The project name is April 1. Next. Finish. Right. Let me remove this. Okay, file. Let me expand this. You will find the source folder, source new package. So you have to create 3 packages. One package is for form.check.student. Okay, the second package is for course. I know package form.check.course. The third package is for the main, the main method. I know package dot package name can be anything, guys. I'm just using check dot driver. Okay. So 3 packages there are there. First I need to develop the contained class. So this is the contained class, right? Always remember to develop the contained class first, right? Because this is the dependent object for this. First you will create the dependent object class, then the actual object class, right? So contained class. It is part of what? Course package, right? File new class course. Name of the class is course. Right? How many entities do I have in the course? Okay, just have a look. Course name, course fee, and duration. Fee name, fee, duration. Okay. C name is going to be sequence of characters. So string. Course fee should be in the form of integer. Duration should be again the sequence of characters. Let me take string itself. Right? Same thing. Generate no R constructors. Generate all R constructors, and generate setters and getters. We generate constructors using fields. Okay. Deselect all. Generate. Okay. No R constructor is generated. File source. Generate constructors using fields. Okay, all are constructors generated. Super keyword is optional. So generate getters and setters. File source. Generate getters and setters. Select all. Okay, last generate toString method. File source. Generate toString method. So we haven't utilized the toString method much. Okay, so will be some places where we need to utilize this toString method. The course object is created successfully. This is success. Okay, next the student class we need to create, right? Same thing, let me create really quick. You just get knocked out of the meeting, look, please rejoin, don't escape. Student, new class. Okay, student, what are the entry fields I'm expecting? Name, location, and courses. Location, courses. Name is a sequence of characters, so string. Location is, did I miss private here? I have missed private, no worries, let me. Location is again sequence of characters, string. And courses, okay, course object. I need to import this course class, and it is of array. Then you're going to store many course objects. This is private. Okay, what is this? Private. And this one is also private, and this one is also private. Let me quickly generate setters and getters. File source, generate constructors using fields. Deselect all, no argument constructor. This one is not necessary. File source, generate constructors using fields. Okay. All argument constructor, file source, generate getters and setters. Select all. Okay. File source, generate toString method. Done. Okay, we have student class, and we have what? We have the course class. Okay, and we need to create the main class. File new class. So I am taking the classes driver. I am checking this public static void main so that the main method will be generated automatically. Okay, done. Now remember one thing. So go back to the code. So I need to create many number of course objects. Many course objects needs to be created. And also I want to create many student objects. We are dealing with many to many. So I need to create many course objects, as well as I want to create many student objects. Right? Firstly, let me create many course object first. Okay, course C1 equal to new course. Right? I want to import this course. Or else I can choose the constructor. Constructor to initialize values. Okay, what I can do, I can first, it is expecting what? This field is expecting the course name, first one, first order. Course name, piece, and duration. Let me say Java, and this is what? Course fee is 2000, and duration is something like 3 months. Okay. C1 object is created, C2 object. So I'm just setting the values. Here I'm setting the values using constructor. If not, you can use setters also. Both are fine. C2 and C3. So Java, and here I'm taking a Python. Okay, I am taking the pieces 1000, and duration is something like 2 months. Okay, and I'm taking C++. Okay, let me say the piece is 1500. Duration is something like 4 months. The 3 course objects are created. Right? Now what I'm going to do is, so after creating the 3 course object, I'm going to take what? I'm going to take the array. Array in the sense, see, this is going to create 3 objects. Okay, let me do this. Focus here. Okay. we have this information. Okay. So there are three objects, C1, C2, C3. Okay. So definitely three course object will be created. This is course one object. Okay. And this course two. Okay. And this one is course three. Right. And what is the name? Okay. You have name, fees, and duration. Okay. Name is what? Course name is, first one is Java. Okay. Fees is, I have taken it as 2000. Duration is 3 months. Right. Name Python, and the course fee is 1000. Okay, duration, let me take 2 months. The last one is C++. Course fee is 1500. Duration is 4 months. 4 months. So these are the information of what C1, C2, okay, and C3. So these are the references. Okay, this is memory of C1, memory of C2, and memory of C3. Okay, so far so good. Right. So next, what I am doing, I'm creating a package. Okay, so here my assumption is I'm creating three packages. For example, courses. I'm placing all the objects in, not all the objects, specific objects. Okay, combination of specific objects. I'm taking the packages P1 equal to, I'm choosing C1 comma C3 here. C3. So one person will be opting for this package. P1 is referring to the C1 as well as C3, which means one person is choosing Java as well as C++. I'm taking like this, I'm taking another one. Another person is choosing what? C1 and C2. I'm taking another one. Another person is choosing what? C1, C2, C3. Three packages I have taken, so I have segregated this. Okay, P1 is of C1 and C1, C3, C1 and C2, C1, C2, C3. Right. Now I'm going to create what? I'm going to create the student objects. Student S1 equal to new student. Okay. I'm taking the student name as Balaji, and let me choose the location as Chennai. So Balaji has opted to choose what? The P1 package. P1 means C1 and C3, which is Java and C++. Okay. For the time being, let me take only two students, S1 and S2. Okay, let me take three, no issues. S1, S2, and S3. Okay, so Balaji, Lakshmi is preparing P2 package. Okay, and last one is what? Monica has opted for P3 package. Right? So these are okay, these are going to do something behind the scenes. Okay, second instructions. If you get locked out of the meeting group, please rejoin. Don't miss this topic. This is very important for projects. Okay. So you have P1 and you have P2 and you have what? You have P3. Right? So this is P1, package 1, package 2, package 3. Package 1 is what? C1 and C2. C1 and C2. Package 2 is what? C1. Sorry, package 1 is C1, C3. Package 2 is C1 and C2. And package 3 is C1 as well as C2 as well as C3. right? Now student objects. The next thing is what? Student objects. I have taken 3 student objects. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3, right? So S1 is what? S1 is Balaji, Chennai. You have name, you have okay, you have name, you have location, and you have what? You have courses. Courses. So this is Balaji. The location is Chennai. Okay, thanks for rejoining. So you have Balaji, you have Chennai, and Balaji has opted to choose a package which is what? Which is P1 package. So opted to choose the package P1 package. So let me copy this. The second person is Lakshmi. Okay. He's from Hyderabad. Lakshmi has opted to choose P2 package. Then the third one is Monica, and she has chosen the P3 package. Okay. So these are the information that we have, right? And just we have to map, right? So P1, right? P1 is pointing here, right? And P2, P2, P2 is what? This one, this one, and last you have what? You have P. I mean, again, that is not P1, right? This is P3, guys, not P1. This is P3, package 3. P3 is pointing to this package. You have 3 packages, and if you see each and observe any package, okay, there are different courses. Okay, this package has C1 and C3, different packages. So this is actually talking about what? Many to many, many to many, many to many, right? So how we can? So these are the things that is happening in the memory level. So how we can write a logic so that all the details will be printed in the console. How the logic could be written effectively, right? So very simple. Let me go to the student package. So what I want to do here is, so in the student package, what I can say, okay, let me do something like this. Public void get details. I want to get the details, right? Student here I want to print student, yes, student name, student name. I want to print student name. Okay, just name, student name and student location. Location. I just want to print these two values. Very simple. Go to the driver class, right? So I can call on any object reference, okay, by using S1 object reference. I just call get details. Right now, you know what are the things that will be displayed on the console. So this is the S1 object, right? So these are the S1 object. This is S1 object. This is S2 object, and this is what? This is S3 object. S3 object, right? So on top of S1 object, I am calling the get details method, right? And I'm expecting the name and the location. So on top of S1 method, I'm calling get details method. I'm expecting name and the location. Only name and the location, not the remaining things. Just print on this get details method. You get student name as Balaji, student location as Chennai. Okay, I have taken the name here. Let me say location. I also want to print the courses that has been opted. What I'm doing here is I'm using the enhancer for loop, and again this enhancer for loop is the topic of discussion in the arrays topic. Okay, I have given some picture about this for loop. You do not have to set the boundary. Okay? Directly use the array. Okay? Directly use the course array. So one array has multiple pieces of information. That use this the course. Okay? Take class name, any variable name. We're calling this variable on top of what? On top of courses. See the actual class name. This is your meaningful variable name. Any variable name you can give. Okay? This courses is referring to the variable name that you have given here. For array. Now what I can do by running this, I can just extract what? System dot out dot println. Okay. X dot get course name. X dot get course duration. X dot get course fee. Okay, so this is going to run. Okay, I will show this what is happening behind the scenes. If I run this code, you get Java 3 months 2000, C++ 4 months and 1500. What I want to do here is I just want to expose this in a good way. I want to display this in a better way. So I can do some kind of modifications here. So Balaji, Chennai, yes, opted Java 3 months 2000, C++ 4 months 1500. Okay, if I choose the different reference variable, if I choose, let me say S3, if I am choosing S3, right now Monica object will be called, the student object will be called, and the package 3. P3 is of what? Array type. If you run this code, you will get something like this. Okay. Let me take the simple example S1, not get details. I'm running this. A simple example, right? So what is actually happening? You're calling get details, and this part of the student class. Okay, I will explain this. I will just explain this. Okay, this is. So you have called this get details method on top of what? On top of S1 object, right? So this is the S1 object. This is the S1 object. On top of S1 object. Right? So just focus on this for loop. Okay, so this for loop, okay, you see, right? You see there is the courses here. There is a courses here. So an array will be created for these courses, right? So this P1 is storing how many courses? It is storing this object as well as this C1 and C3. It is storing C1 as well as C3. C1 object and C3 object. C3 object. This is the array. So the length of the array is number of objects that are there in the array. So length is going to be what? And the index will start from 0. Okay? 0 and 1. Since the length is 2, this for loop will run for 2 times. For loop will run for 2 times. First time it is going to point towards the C1, right? C1. So the C1 internally has three information, right? One is what? One is the name of the course. Second one is the duration of the course. Third one is the fee of the course. At the time of running the for loop for the first time, it is going to extract what? Get a course name, course duration, and course fee. This data will be displayed. Before displaying this data, the stars will be printed. After displaying data, the stars will be printed. So when it is running for the first time, all the values inside the C1 will be extracted. Okay, when the running unit is running for the last time, second time, you can run only for 2 times because the length is 2, right? So all the details inside the C3 will be fetched, like the course name, duration, and that. You look at the C1 and C3, focus on C1 and C3. So this is C1, you get Java 2000 and duration, and this is C3. You get C++ 2500 and 4 months duration. So you do not have to think much about these arrays. For now, your understanding should be limited to the associations. Okay, if you are good enough to develop this, make associations between two classes, that would be fine. Even if you don't like to use these arrays, okay, no issues. For now, no issues. But the moment I start taking the concept of arrays in the future, not future, by in 5 or 6 days, arrays concepts will come. Over there, you will understand each and everything in it. The internal working of this enhancer for what is an array. You will understand things like that. Okay, I hope I have given the complete picture about what many-to-many association, many-to-one association. And in the last two sessions, we have discussed about one-to-one and one-to-many. Okay, these things are important in the real-time project. In every banking applications, you deal with these associations. Okay, these things are not, it cannot be neglected. You have to practice this. By just looking at the theory classes, you will not get much. Only with the practice you can get. You can do some modifications, you can add some extra data. You can also create the complex association. I have created a simple association. You can also create the a kind of complex association, right? And do the practice, and if you come across any doubts, you just